What's happening with Shaken? Episode 336 of The Past is here. I'm your host, BT, with yet another episode. And I noticed the more that I'm doing shows, the more I'm being put in places that is reminding me of how and where this all kind of took off. I'm not even going to say where it got started, but really took off. And today, uniquely enough, I am back in the library recording, which it's always fun, but it's always cool at the same time because I'm not as animated when I'm at the library, but I still give you excellent content, excellent information. It's just with a more, it's almost like I'm having a conversation with y'all and y'all don't realize that y'all are here without knowing it. Kind of the best way to describe it. So we have quite a bit to discuss. I do have like a list of topics. Someone came prepared today, so that's a big plus. And we're just going to kind of go through and make this a good show, make this a free-flowing and a fluid show as always. I'll start off and I'll remind you all, if you are supporting the show or are listening, wherever you listen to the show, please leave feedback, leave ratings. I would love to know how I'm doing as a podcaster. Also, as long as you're not spamming me to death, you can email me at thepastbtpod@gmail.com, and I literally check that email frequently and often. If you do send something that is not appropriate or related to podcast input, it will likely not get read. I will be honest with you. And yeah, that's just kind of what it is. So I've been going away from my page that I would consider to be my safe space or my fave, and I know I took this out, but we're gonna bring it back in. The angel numbers are and will be forever a hit for me personally, and since we're on episode 336, we'll go ahead and share the meaning or the significance of the meaning of angel number 336. Angel number 336 symbolizes peace. The guardian angels want you to make peace with yourself and with those around you. Forgive those who may have wronged you and let them know that you have forgiven them. The angels want you to be at peace with yourself and forgive yourself for the mistakes you have made in the past and the future. Angel number 336 says that peace is what you need to have rest and sanity of the mind. Sacred number 336 is a symbol of love. Embrace the love that is currently in your life. The angels want you to experience the truth of the love and sincerity of a person. The angels can see that your heart has much to give and love is on top of the list. They do not want you to hold back anymore. Hence, you are constantly seeing angel number 336. From its spiritual aspect, it would be excellent to learn to work smarter, not only harder, to improve your productivity and success in life. So try to find healthy ways to work smarter and practice them to take your progress and achievements to the next level. That's intense, and I'll explain why in a second. The angel number implies that your angels will guide you and motivate you to accomplish challenging chores and produce the best results. Pray to God to gain more profound wisdom in planning, streamlining process, saving costs while increasing your productivity. Thus, it would be awesome if you were more active spiritually to accomplish more and live a fulfilling life. From the symbolic meaning, it signifies that it would be wise to create a clear plan for your work and keep your to-do list brief. Also, ensure you develop reasonable deadlines and monitor your progress to ensure you are always on the right track. Remember to stay proactive to close as many targets as possible and measure your results as you reward yourself. If you keep seeing 336 everywhere, try to focus on the moment and avoid combining several tasks. If you feel overwhelmed or are not sure, try to seek help from others by delegating some chores to boost your efficiency. Additionally, stay closer with smart guys to inspire you to work smarter. Other things you should know should know of 336 are in angel numbers 3, 6, 33, and 36 meanings. The angel number 336 meaning made up of number 33 and number 6 also implies blessings. Blessings will be coming your way very soon, and the angels would like you to be prepared and ready. Angel number 336 is a representation of good things coming your way and your family too. Sacred number 336 is a sure sign that the struggle is coming to an end, and you should be ready to receive the blessings that will come your way. The divine number 336 symbol is a symbol of prosperity. The angels will provide for you all that you need. The angels are saying that you will not lack and you will not suffer. Angel number 336 is a sign that your financial needs will be met, that the loans will begin to be cleared, and that your monetary needs will be taken care of. The angels are with you and will not let you be in need. The numbers 336 is a sign of answered prayers. Whatever you have been on your knees asking God for is going to be answered soon. The angels want you to know that you will not have to cry and weep anymore because your prayers have been heard. Whether it is food, rent, or even clothing, your prayers have been heard and will be answered, every one of them. In simple words, your angels will keep you inspired via these fantastic digits. Angel number 336 says that you need to identify extra tips to boost your efficiency and effectiveness in life. Try to work smarter. This angel number probably has a huge significance to me personally and overall. And I know this will be the third day or the third episode of addressing this, but because I did talk to a friend of mine off air about, and I've shared this before about my friend Amanda who passed, and I don't want to keep bringing this up, but I'm bringing it up for this episode for a reason, because we did talk about life path numbers, and I'll be sure to share the link for that show if I have not done so already, to let everyone be aware of, finding out what your life path number is. And uniquely enough, my life path number is 336. So reading this specific angel number breakdown is a lot different. But I did want to make sure I go back to address, there was one portion that was mentioned about planning, streamlining processes, saving costs, increasing productivity, being able to fulfill a more productive life. I have been put in a position to realize the importance of planning, and I've learned it on both sides. I've learned it actually in unique instances, even with friends, where my friends have kind of, I won't say caught the planning bug, but they've kind of seen that there are things that I'm able to do and or not able to do because of planning. And thankfully, I'm grateful for them by far, but it's been hands down a blessing to realize that a lot of people are more understanding about people who plan or prep things to be put in place. And I never realized the importance of that and I've kind of seen it on both sides for myself personally, because when I don't plan things out, it just all goes however it goes, and I just deal with the consequences after. When I have planned, I've gotten stuff done. And obviously, as we talked about before, that was what got me to complete my certificate of completion for coding. And in speaking of coding, I will update you all. I haven't done a lot with it, but I'm getting kind of the foundations about them. I'm looking to start getting a feel and a learn for both Java and Python. Now, I might have mentioned this on the show before, but I learned Java back in 2019. And I learned it a little bit before then, but seeing it now, it's a good refresher and it's a good feel to kind of get comfortable and learn the syntax and the core basis of learning Java. Excuse me. And Python, I'm still kind of in the baby stages with that, but I'm, the key ingredient for me learning these two languages is that I want to have I have a foundation with coding so far with learning JavaScript, learning HTML, CSS, Redux, Node, things of that nature, MySQL, like all of those components have been helpful by far. But what I'm learning with these parts will then get more attention behind me learning or connecting the dots with getting into jobs such as software development, software engineer, software application development, things of that nature. So I would definitely be utilizing what I'm learning to the best of my ability. I might have shared this before. I still have some time that I'm able to use Codecademy and make that become a very useful tool in not only my education, but just my knowledge base in general. So I'm enjoying that big time. Next I'm going to bring awareness to tech in a unique manner because let's face it, we hear the term technology isn't going anywhere, but the more we're around it and the more it's around us, we have to maintain or uphold this connection with tech, whether we like it or not. And the amazing part about it is more resources have and are becoming available for wanting to learn tech than ever before. And I think a lot of people don't realize that in how much information is at your beck and call. If you say, hey, I want to learn this, and this, and it's pretty much okay, let me go find let me go find this for you and show you how to do said thing. And in layman's terms, the rest is history. If y'all hear that noise, my bad. I don't know what it is. But I'm saying all of that to just make people keep in mind that as much as you may think tech is frustrating, keeping yourself aware or keeping yourself in tune with just the core basics of tech will be very key. We are in the midst of season 5 of The Pass, and I will be totally raw with y'all. Y'all know I always do my best to keep it as real as I can. There was one point where I literally lived the podcasting life without being a podcaster, to say the least. And I think right now, I can say since March or April, my podcast has had its ability to increase, but I haven't been giving it the proper air, the proper benefit to increase. So I'm taking responsibility and accountability for that. But I want to just let you all know, and even as I mentioned that earlier about getting feedback, anything that can improve or make this a better podcast for you all as listeners, I'm open to it because I want to make this a more beneficial podcast for listeners. I also have opened the doors and I've told people, if you want to come on as a guest, there are very few things that I'm not open to talking about. And if I'm not going to have an opinion on it, and I'll let me be clear, politics, religion, if you are able to have the conversation without the conversation being out of hand, I can rock with it. But it's some things that to pull and present information without the information to be valid and solid, I'm just not going to do it. And that's just my take on it. That kind of goes into what I just said about connections and conversations. I'm connecting with people more frequently now, and that's been fun. That's been new. And improving the podcast, I do want to add this because you're going to see it in this show and it's going to likely be a thing. these shows will be shorter. I was doing the hour plus shows, and a lot of that had to do with what the topics were. Now, now, granted, I may have a guest on. That might just be one of those weeks where we talk. So those moments are going to happen. I can't control that. But my core basis, I want to keep kind of simple and to the point. I'm excited that I'm going to be getting more opportunities with creating content, doing some sites, doing a couple websites. I've been putting it off for a while. Oh, I'm not ready to do it. Oh, I don't want to do it. Oh, it ain't my wheelhouse. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it done right, et cetera, et cetera. And to add to that, I just recently got an accessory that I think will be very helpful and very beneficial to designing not just websites, but also logos as well. So once that comes in, as the saying goes, all bets are off. Like I said, I'm giving a lot of effort to what I'm doing now, but I think having the tools and also making the time to work on it will be key, which ties into the angel number that I shared earlier about the importance of managing and maintaining your time, because we can't get time back as much as we think we can. Like, we can get another opportunity to build upon what we didn't do with the last amount of time we got, but we don't get an extension in time. Like when you watch soccer matches and they say 5 minutes of stoppage time, you don't get stoppage time in the real world. The real world is time is going nonstop. On most clocks, it's the typical, those two dots are going to be beep for every second. Beep, 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 beep. And it's, for a lot of people, that's a challenge because looking at clocks makes time go slow. But it's going slow because you're not doing anything with the time that you have to be productive. And I'm going to leave it at that. I have one article that I did find because I was listening to a TikTok or watching a video on TikTok for Earn Your Leisure. And it was related to Nike's plan with virtual goods. I initially had this. I'm going to get another source because I want to make sure I have one that we can read, and it's not going to be, limited to how many times you can read it or check it out. Nike applies for virtual goods trademarks amid Facebook's Meta rebrand. I don't want to be the one to say I told you so, but I said this was coming. A lot of companies are going to be taking advantage of this, whether we realize it or not. And I'm saying that in that manner, but I probably likely didn't say it in that term, but I saw this coming. Like, companies are going to know how big this is. So, trademarking virtual goods with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office is what Nike will be doing. They submitted 4 filing requests to trademark virtual goods. The news comes amid Facebook's rebrand to Meta and its embrace of the metaverse as future of the internet. Nike has fled to trademark its brand for virtual and downloadable goods. On October 27th, the sportswear Colossus filed 4 requests with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. The filings reportedly list a variety of digital goods, including headwear, eyewear, bags, backpacks, and sports equipment. What's more, the filings are based on an intent to use basis, which means the patents themselves won't actually be finalized until Nike makes commercial use of them. The news comes amid Facebook's, now Meta's, rebrand and embrace of the metaverse, a persistent virtual universe where users can interact with each other as digital avatars. These virtual environments can be used for social interactions, gaming, or even work. This is not the first time the sports giant has embraced Web3 technology. And Web3 technology is, you typically know it is the World Wide Web, or just kind of what you'll typically hear the term W3, which is known in the tech world as well. In 2009, Nike granted a patent for cryptographically secure digital assets, which included CryptoKicks, which Yahoo Finance reported as including token data and attributes from an accompanying physical Nike shoe in the real world. Nike, Meta, and the Universe, with the presentation is Nike's latest series of patents arrived during Facebook's rebrand to Meta, which Mark Zuckerberg, Meta CEO, said marks the beginning of the next chapter for the internet. The next platform will be even more immersive, an embodied internet where you're in the experience, not just looking at it. We call this the metaverse, and it will touch every product we build. In the metaverse, you'll be able to do almost anything you can imagine. Get together with friends and family, work, learn, play, shop, create. Amid the rebrand, Zuckerberg provided a nod of some of the legacy issues that have plagued Facebook and his leadership, including the undermining of privacy. Privacy and safety need to be built into the metaverse from day one. And they have a couple other pieces of information regarding this. Whether anyone's going to openly say it or not, this is a big deal. Especially if you get a company such as a big box company, aka Nike, on board. There are very few activities or involvements that Nike does not have their hands in. Nike already does jerseys for the NBA and the NFL. I don't know if a lot of you know that, but that is a big deal in the long run. So it's now a progressing focus of getting in where you can fit in, and also making the use of the opportunity to utilize potential added or beneficial finances. So that is information that I'm sharing with you all to keep an eye out for. If you're not already aware of it, it is going to make an impact down the line. Trust and believe. Today's Pass the Message is going to be a little touching, because a lot of times when I do the show, I'm like, I come up with something. I'm like, I know I got a topic that I want to share as Pass the Message. And then I'm like, something will come up. And I've been talking about this a good amount of the weekend, predominantly on yesterday and today. And I don't want to downgrade the importance of this. And I'm going to try my hardest to not be emotional with sharing this information. But if I do, I do. And if anybody sees it, oh well. Make the most of life. It's a very simple way to say it. But a lot of people try to do what they can to make the most of life. And they find that it's a better option to no longer be here. It's a challenging instance when you have stories or news where people are at events, gatherings, activities, and folks die from whatever causes. That's one thing. But when someone takes their life, and it's even a more challenging factor when it's someone you personally know, it becomes a much bigger dynamic. I've had Breeze on the show a couple of times, actually. He came on the show we talked about my experience of watching an arena football game and my experience of watching a baseball game, both in person. He lost one of his good friends due to suicide. And it's being who I am and knowing how I feel with things when they occur. As soon as he gave me the info of what was going on, it was almost like I was right there with him. Like I said, so to give context, my friend Breeze, he's good, but he lost someone that's close to him, and it impacted me on a totally different level because now it gave him a reminder and it gave me a reminder to check in with people a lot more often, even down to something as simple as if someone reaches out to you and you're able to just respond back and say, hey, I'm good, or hey, I'm busy, or I can't talk, or I'll get back to you. Because sometimes that person on the other end just wants to get a message to know that you're okay. Or they want to be sure that nothing has happened, even in you sharing that you're okay, but you're not. So to round back to the initial statement, value the thing that you have called life. You only get, like, you literally only get one. Everyone says you only live once. I'm like, you only get one. You only get one life of living. Now, yes, afterlife and different forms of living, I understand all those factors, and that's another conversation for another time. But be available and definitely make yourself as able to be there for those who are, needing those check-ins. I look at my phone frequently and often. I couldn't tell you how many people I try my hardest to text or may not get a hold of, or whatever the case may be. But I do what I can to reach out to those people, because whether they openly say it or whether it's clear as day, we need someone to reach out to us, or we need someone just to say, hey, just check on me. And that made me really see and understand things a lot different. So I'm definitely, I send him prayers. I send his friends, family prayers, and anyone who's dealt with anything on that extent, I will place in the show notes, and I'm gonna go back to doing that again, to placing the National Suicide Prevention Hotline in the show notes, because I don't want to make light of something that is this serious, because it really is something serious. So that's what I have as a message to pass along. I know it's a little more different space or a different presentation of it, but I wanted to get that out there because I don't know, someone may need to hear that. But I wish you all an amazing day, an amazing week. Continue to wake up and be the best version of yourself. Allow life to be lived, and don't ignore those moments that you have to check in with people. Until next time, this is The Pass, and this is your host, BT, signing out. Excuse me. Y'all have a good one.